In this episode, Stephen is really angry at one of the gays for...
I didn't like the way he was acting with Nelly, parading around like a bit of meat.
Parading his meat? Well, that should be a fun episode, and we better rehash it.
You want the trash? I got it all for you. Let's rehash the mess together.
Hello, I'm Wilko. This is Rehashed, and you and I are back for another episode of MAFS UK Season 10. We're up to Episode 9. No time to muck around. Let's get straight into it. And we should do ourselves a Love Lab Rat Maze whip around and see how everyone's doing. Maeve is...
absolutely starving.
Won't somebody feed her? Geez, these lab rats have to be looked after. She's got such little nutrition that she's molting everywhere. So much so that the gym rat tats...
There's a hair in me pineapple.
found hair in his food. The lady lovers are having a bit of fun with their next door neighbours. Yeah, they're having some sort of balcony food fight with the alpha and his prize. Davide is sad though. Oh, because he missed the commit me ceremony. And I mean, pull the other one, Davide. Please. Probably not the first time Davide's heard that.
Of the boys, who look the best?
Well, if you asked Sarah, it would be Joe. The answer would always be Joe. The dramatic music kicks in, and it's there to signal to us that the TMD is about to begin with some couples that have lost their spark. Oh no! No spark! Lost would suggest that they had it to begin with, but no. And you wouldn't believe the first sparkless couple is Dean and Sarah. Oh, they're talking about how what Sarah said to everybody at the Din Din's party that was exposed at the commit me.
That's like my biggest red flag.
Was not okay. And Dean is not thrilled about it. And he's sharing that he's not thrilled about it, which is great, but he's still going about it in a very Dean way. It's still far too nice. It's far too nice and far too Dean. Sarah says that she really, reallys likes Dean.
I would never want to hurt him.
Yeah, I don't think you're buying that, and I'm certainly not buying that, but we don't have time to wait around because we have to move on to another couple who have been in the loveless gutter. Julia Ruth and Divarny. Apparently, the reset button that they pushed at the honeymoon, you know, when they had that sort of final dinner, apparently that one didn't work, that push. So this new reset button apparently is really going to do the trick. Let's all hold our breaths. Don't. Anita is apparently going to give Paul another chance for a reason that's, well, it's a part of the rules. She can't leave until he says that he can leave. Really, Anita, you could leave at any time. You're not held against your will, or are you? Blink twice if you need assistance. Don't worry, Paul has a peace offering though. It's some flowers and a cup of coffee, and I think that's probably the most he's ever done for any of his partners. Although there's no point asking him what he's done for previous partners because he absolutely wouldn't remember unless it was tattooed on him. Even with these peace offerings, it comes with a side of snark. And the snarky comment comes from how Anita is here to find love. The love of which Paul has no grasp on what that is.
I think there was a word missing. It came to find instant love because it was only 8 days in.
Oh, yes, of course. Anita wanted that instant love, that cup of soup love, that ramen noodle love. Now hearing these comments, we get to play the game. Was Paul being lighthearted? Was this just a bit of fun because he's a fun guy? Or was this him being a dick? Because it felt dickish. There's no point me recapping this because it's just the same stuff. We repeat that she's like, you should want to get to know me. And he's like, well, you should just like prepare a monologue and tell me everything that I need to know about you. And then that'll be that. I'm never going to ask a question of another human.
Do you expect that?
Yeah, because that's what I did.
Because you're good at talking about yourself.
Boom! Anita got him. I do like seeing the snark come from both of them, but especially from Anita, because I think she's been pushing her natural urge to sort of rip him a new one just down, and now it's just starting to bubble to the surface. Yeah, I think she's done with Paul. Officially. Also, Silver Flop, it wouldn't matter if she just told you everything that she wanted you to know about her because you wouldn't remember unless it was inked on you. Your mind is like a sieve. In my mind, we are just wasting time here. There is no way forward for this relationship, but as always, I love reading your comments. I try to reply to as many as I can, so pop one below on what you think is going to happen with 60-year-old Paul and his 54-year-old TV bride. Now, we also find out in this episode that we missed another blow-up. There was a blow-up, and it involved not just one couple, and we missed it on their little night out. This time, it was involving Nelly and Stephen and someone else, but wait one second. It's so good that Nelly is picking up on the things that she does as a self-sabotage thing. You know, like maybe being a little bit too needy or reading into things too much, but she could actually be picking up that he is pulling away. And remember, there's a fine line with like leaning in a supportive way on the other love lab rats in the experiment and then oversharing too much about your relationship. You got to keep some things precious. But let's be really fair. These people don't have a lot of contact with the outside world or their general support networks. So they're going to talk to each other about their relationships, especially if things are a little bit off.
Keye walked in with Nelly, asking me to compliment her. Absolutely no idea why Kia's got involved.
Firstly, trust the gay to get involved. I mean, we're so awful that way. It's because we always have a lended ear or shoulder at the ready, especially for the girlies in our lives. Secondly, Stephen, hi. Stephen, is this thing on? You're on the telly. Your whole relationship is up for scrutiny, not just from the other Love Lab rats, but from like me and you and everybody now that it's on the telly.
Keye being the main instigator. So I'm thinking, what has Nelly been saying?
Keye was just trying to have my back more than anything and just try and make me feel a little bit good.
Feels like you're going behind my back and talking
I would
shit.
never.
No, but that's what it felt like.
Wow, this guy feels really different to the one that we met at the honeymoon. Maybe it was just editing. I feel like now we're starting to get a picture of the real Stephen. Maybe ask Nelly her thoughts on what went down and maybe speaking to her one-on-one before jumping to conclusions and blowing up for... Really, it doesn't seem like a big reason.
Other people don't need to know my shit. I can't be having people. I can't admit again. You'll see a side of me which probably you won't like.
Oh, that's a little bit... Is that threatening? I don't know, felt icky. You are on a TV show. All the people are going to know your shit. That's what the whole point of the show is. And they're going to have opinions about it. And if you're not a strong enough person to deal with that, then why did you apply for the show in the first place? Especially to share your shit with other people who are also sharing their shit in the same experiment. Nelly does point out to Stephen in their little apartment couch one-on-one that he has been different and he has to admit that. And Stephen says, well, the only reason that I'm being weird is and different is because of you and the scenarios that you play out in your head that pushes me away. He reckons that if she just stops that, then he'll go back to being the Stephen that he was at the honeymoon. And I'm like, I don't know. You know me, I've always got my thoughts as to what's driving someone, and I feel like Stephen might have a secret. I don't know what it could be, but he's acting a little bit toey. Stephen's big issue here is that Keye inserted himself into the situation. No one else apart from Davide.
Really want to have a conversation with Keye today.
And stick around because Stephen is going to put Keye in his place in just 1 second.
You're not part of this relationship, so see yourself out.
There is also some drama happening with the lady lovers, and it's not what you think. At the drinks, apparently Leah was being too flirty with Rebecca. I mean, escandalo.
But Leah was being a little bit flirty with Rebecca. I just don't want to feel like I'm being disrespected. I was like, that's a bit muggy.
Leah says the reason they're being so familiar is because they're from a similar area. And obviously you gravitate to personalities and people that you're like, oh, I get this person. This person feels safe. I'm going to go and connect with them. Maybe not like connect. It also comes out that last night, Leah and Leigh shared a little kiss. Oh, double a scandalo.
You realised at this point that you liked me more than you thought because you got a little bit jealous over Rebecca. So you thought, I'm going to pounce on you.
And Leigh now being jealous of something that's absolutely not happening with Rebecca is definitely not something that was on my bingo card for this season. Okay, more on that later. Let's get back to the real issue at hand. And that's Stephen and his big beef with Keye.
I didn't like the way he was acting with Nelly, parade around like a bit of meat.
Did he say a bit of meat? Because us gays do like to parade around like a bit of meat. You know what I mean? Oh, me, I've never done that. I've never paraded in my life.
I just wanted people just to basically just fuck off. Yeah, you brought her over to me and was like, comment on her like outfit, comment on like a breast. In that way, I don't want anyone to get involved. Just leave me alone.
From the look of the boys' faces on the couch, it seems like they are confused as to why Stephen is so put out by this.
Sorry, I'm actually still just confused as to what I've done. So I bigged her up to make her feel like she was cute. I then walked her in, gave her a spin and said, look how amazing your wife looks.
Yeah, Stephen, question. Why are you so put out by this? Is something else going on? Or is it possibly a secret that's making you so very, very salty at the situation that you're in? It comes out that Keye was apparently really inappropriate because he was like upping Nelly and her boobs and her looks and like really giving her a good pump up, as gays do for their girlies. It's a community service that all gays do for the important, not just girls in their life. Do you know how many straight friends I have that when we go out, they're like, so what do you think? And I'm like, babe, you look great. And they're like, thank you. Straight guys love a gay guy pump up. Again, if you were just half listening.
You automatically assume, oh, it's just directed at me.
I can't be held accountable for your assumption. I'm not having it sold that I was trying to come between your relationship. I'm not. Couldn't give a flying fuck if I'm completely honest. I'm here for my relationship. I was being supported the same way I would support absolutely anyone.
Keye also goes on to say that he is a people cheerleader. Like, he is everybody in his life, the biggest cheerleader. Like, he just wants to pump people up and make them feel good. And if Stephen, you felt like weirdly attacked by that, then I guess that read is on you. Like, you have to figure out exactly why you're feeling that way. And during this whole weird blow up, I love that Keye is backing himself, not in a rude way. He's not being aggressive, but he's like, what you're saying doesn't make any sense. And I kind of agree. Like, it would be weird if everybody in the group was like, Stephen, you suck. Be better to your wife. You know, that would feel like he was being bullied. Also, the way that Stephen makes it sound is that it wasn't just a Keye thing. So why have you come just to Keye? Because he says things like, when people say, okay, well then where are all the other people that should be in this conversation if it's not just about Keye? Also, how hard is it for you to say nice things to your new TV bride? I understand, and so does Nelly, that she needs more validation than probably the normal person because of what she's been through. But that's what happens when you start dating someone. You find out their past triggers and their traumas, and you go, cool, you keep working on that, and I know what to do in that situation, and then we can kind of communicate and get to a better spot. But when you're first meeting someone or TV married to them, you would think that you were just like really trying, like putting in a lot more hard yakka in the initial stages, right? Keye said that if this same situation happened again with Nelly, he would do the same thing. And he's probably going to do it. It's not going to change. If a girl in his life, or anybody probably, needs a pump up, that's the personality that he is.
No one knows the conversation we have back at home. Like, just stay out of my business.
And then you can tell how stressed he is by the way he has gripped the stem of his wine glass, ready to chug that sucker back. Stephen, apparently, according to the edit, leaves the room very pissed off.
Feeling pretty pissed off. So I just end up just walking away. Don't like people getting involved in business they shouldn't get involved in.
I don't know. Like, why are you so mad? Are you mad because you're wrong? Shut up. As much as I love that drama, we're moving on from it because some envelopes have been slipped under the door because apparently it's something called Experts Week. Yeah, they spell it differently, like EX, but mine's got a double S in it. Anyway, so I guess this is the only week that the experts are going to do anything. Yeah, after this week, they are completely checked out. In the first challenge, it is a intimacy workshop with Charlene. The outfits are very interesting.
So yeah, I'm hoping it's the start of the touching and not the end of the touching. I'm hoping it's the beginning.
Okay, Dean, well, don't get your hopes up too much because this could be the end of the touching. That's all I'm saying. I can't tell if Dean is just perpetually positive or if he actually thinks there's still a chance between him and Sarah. The outfits are, how you say, interesting. And I don't know what Charlene is holding. If you could chuck it in the comments just to let me know what this is. It's like a stick with a little pom-pom on it. Dean is loving the rub. He is loving the rub from Sarah. Probably a little bit too much given the noises.
More oil.
Oh yeah, go on.
Ooh.
That's nice.
And Sarah's face is telling us all that we need to know. Her face says everything at all times. Grace is once again really struggling with it because her nightmare was that it was going to be another massage. And she's like, we've already done this. But she's pushing through it because remember, she's only doing the massage thing for Ashley. Only doing it for Ashley. You know, I guess if you like really want to give me a massage, I absolutely hate them. But if you want, oh, that feels so, bad. It feels bad. Also, quick pick. Of course, Ashley has a tattoo of an anchor. Of course he does. Build ships.
So, yeah, he is doing well.
Oh, not sold, Sarah, but good try, honey. Really good try. Yeah. Yeah. Now Charlene shocks everybody because she pushes on a wall and it leads to, well, a lamer version of like the 50 Shades Red room. And in this room, there's all manner of things. And it doesn't look sexy. Like, I mean, production, you could have made this room more sexy. It feels like a boardroom and you've just opened a couple of dildos and chucked them on a table.
Charlene just carry these around in her bag every day, or?
Well, yeah. Normally you would keep the plugs for the butt. Normally you would keep them in the butt. Is everything I'm saying going to get blocked by YouTube? This episode's going to need so much re-editing because it's just going to keep flagging things.
Harder?
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, Oh, he likes that. maybe he's feeling the spark now.
I'm just going to stay seated here for a while.
It was all going actually really well until Leah, the filter slipped and she was just a little bit too honest for a second.
That's nice. It's because she doesn't say a lot of nice things. No, often. Often.
I don't agree, but okay.
Leigh does not agree. She does not agree. And she is so pissed off that this narrative about Leigh not being very nice to Leah has been spun again. But to me, I don't know, I feel like Leah is speaking the truth. She didn't say that you don't put effort in, BT dubs. She says that you just don't say nice things. Leigh cannot take feedback. And this is really not the show for somebody who cannot take feedback, although there's a few every season. At the end of this, they all get to pick things to put in their own little doggy style bag. I couldn't even get through it. Cut it. Cut it out because it won't fly.
But I think it has been just what we've needed.
Oh, Sarah, after each line, they're still recording and then your face gives it away every single time. We just don't believe it, Dal. Julia Ruth and Divarny, who was so promising to me at their wedding, it was so promising. They do a matching values task and their results couldn't look more different. Sex and Looks, great name for an album, is at the bottom of the priority list for Divarny, and children that are at the top of his are at the bottom of hers.
Money before sex. For him, it's looks and sex is the last thing on a man's mind. On a man's mind, looks and sex is the last thing on a man's mind. Come on, Keye.
It feels like JR just isn't buying who Divarny is. She's like, men who don't want sex, do they exist? Yeah, they actually do exist. Not everybody has the same sexual appetite. You can't watch some movies and TV shows and go, oh, all men love it all the time. It's just not reality. But I do agree that you have to be pretty sexually compatible to be with someone. You know what I mean? Like if someone, you have to sort of meet each other. If you're not completely sexually compatible, you have to at least be willing to meet the person where they are. Maybe they want less, maybe you want more, and you have to sort of meet in the middle somewhere.
Apparently, it's not enough. Doesn't care. It's one on the list. So I almost put looks at one.
So looks are the most important thing to you? I guess that's cool. That's fine. I don't know. It just feels weird to be so superficial, but okay. I think this is bad experting. You know what I mean? Like the science is not great. If they've got so many things, like their priority lists don't match up at all, you would feel like they've done this stuff before going on the show with the experts, and the experts knew that this was going to happen. So this is a match for just drama purposes only. Paul and Anita plus Davide and Keye are doing the Ask Me Anything task. We know what Anita's question's going to be, right? Who are my children? Name them.
Tell me 3 things you change about me.
I wish your job didn't involve you having to go away for long periods of time when you get in your head and overthink things. And then the third thing I would change is your perspective on your body image, because I think you're absolutely goddamn sexy as hell and wish you could see yourself.
Well, that's actually a very good answer. And that question itself is very trap heavy. A lot of traps to fall into with that question, and expertly done. Paul in his session with Anita is asking for more time. And I'm like, but for what? Like, what do you want time for? I think you just want to waste time.
Whether you're fully committed.
Are you expecting me to be fully committed after 2 weeks?
The clue's in the title, isn't it? Married at First Sight.
I think you can be committed to the process.
I'm with Anita. It's called Married at First Sight. You went on this show going, you know what, I'm going to make a commitment. And if you were young enough to be like, well, I want to be an influencer and I'm doing it for fame and fortune, then I could be like, okay, well, you're just doing it to get sort of noticed. But at 60 years of age, I don't think you care about the fame aspect of it unless you just wanted something else to talk about until you die. But you keep bringing up the whole time and the time frames thing. That doesn't really matter because you're just not invested in actually being compatible with somebody else. The issue isn't time. The issue is that you just don't want to actually have to work for it. The boys and girls get together separately. Well, there's a majority boys group, a majority girls group. In the girl group though, Leah does explain how Leigh was feeling about the whole like, are you in love with Rebecca? Like, who the fuck is Rebecca?
I think you'd said, like, Rebecca's more my type, gym girl, dark hair,
you feel like home to me because my friends are like you, and it was just something that was latched onto, but there was literally nothing in it.
Oh, okay, so there's nothing to worry about. But maybe, because I really want it, maybe there's a lady cheating scandal. Would it be our first ever? Probably. The editing is actually A+ here, and it makes it seem like, just with the facial responses of other people in the group, it makes it seem like they're not buying the information that Leah is selling. They're like, maybe there is something here. Stephen is also explaining to the boys that Nelly and her neediness has put him off a bit. And apparently Nelly has said, well, if you just want to be standoffish, then you do you, and I'll just continue being myself and we'll see what happens. Which I love in theory. I don't know if she's actually doing that, but I would love her to be able to do that and just go, whatever, mate. If you want to come and meet me and do this whole TV marriage thing, if you don't, whatever. So really, I don't know, with Stephen being so cagey, I have to ask the question. All right, here we go. What's your secret? What is it, Stephen? Tell me what your little secret is. What's going on in your brain? It feels familiar to other grooms who maybe have some secrets on the outside. If you've come this far, you are officially a part of the All the Way Club. The way that you confirm your registration into the club is by commenting, "What's your secret?" in the comments below. Hey, guess what? The merch store has been updated and you can get so many more items now, and you can also shoot me emails to suggest what kind of things that you want to see there at rehash.com.au. Also, members, there's a separate video in your feed and it has a special coupon. You can go and see it at the post page. Because you're a member, you'll get an extra 20% off for the month. Members Month is all October, and you can go and see that now for any of the items in the store. So make sure you do that within October and get all of these great items. I'm going to be wearing them each time I do a video for the next week. So rehash.com.au and get your merch right now while it's in stock. Huge shout out to the members and to everybody who donates via the website or by clicking the love heart below. I really do appreciate it. So many from the last video, and I loved reading all of your messages. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.